Good afternoon and welcome. Today is Wednesday, July 31st, 2019. This is the Board of Architecture review for the City of Anderson. Addenda?
Nothing else to add tonight, sir.
We can proceed right to the public hearing. BAR 1924.
The applicant is seeking approval for exterior alterations at 314 South Main Street in the downtown historic district. The property is a new home of Tracy Starr Home. You saw this very recently with the sign approval. You did approve a new sign for the building. They are back this month for some other changes, for some window changes, some paint changes, and a front door change. In terms of the windows, they're leasing this first floor space here. They're looking to replace the windows on the side of the building with a 4-panel storefront type window on the side of the building. Again, commercial storefront type windows. The frames are likely to be silver at this point to match the other framework on the front of the building. In terms of paint, the building is white currently. They have a little section at the front here, which is still natural brick. They would just like to paint that so it's consistent with the rest of the building. The paint color of the building is not changing. It's still going to be white. They just want to add that into the painted portions of the building. And then finally, the front door is currently, as you can see there, it's just a single door. They want to change that to a double door. It would be a wooden door. In your packet, you have 2 samples, basically either a stained or painted door. You can see the color here, or a darker color that you see there. They're asking for an either or approval on the 2 colors, just depending on some cost and issues with the doors. They'd like to have the option to go with both. The framework on the front of the building would remain the same. So you have the silver, as we talked about, with the side windows, and so the change would be just in the door over there. So to recap, the windows on the side of the building would be replaced here. The arches are built in. Those arches on the side of the building here, above the windows, those remain in place. That's just a window replacement. Again, the front door change, going from a single door to a double door. They're dealing with furniture, and they need the wider door to get items in and out of the building. And then again, the paint, going to the white paint on the base of the building there. When reviewing this request, the board should focus on the standards set forth in Chapter 5 of the Downtown Design Guidelines, which are design guidelines for individual building elements, and Chapter 10, design guidelines for colors. The following policies apply. The policy states that historic windows and doors significantly affect the character of a structure and should be preserved. You should preserve the position, number, size, and arrangement of windows and doors in the building. And when replacement is necessary, match the replacement to the original design as closely as possible. In terms of colors, it just says, use colors to tie together the entire storefront, and when choosing a color, consider the context or major colors on the surrounding buildings. The board must decide the proposed building changes meet the above criteria. I'm happy to answer any questions you have for staff, and the applicant is here tonight as well.
The frame will be aluminum colored silver, like the front door windows?
Front windows on the building. So aluminum framework here, the aluminum on the side.
So that matches. So the only change really is it's going to be a 2/2 type window?
Right. I mean, we don't know for sure. I don't know for sure what was there previously. Basically, they're boarded up now. So I don't know what the original window was. Do you know if there's any windows behind that plywood at all? So it's just a plywood there. So I'm not sure what the original window style was.
Are there any buildings with that same type window opening that have windows?
Not specifically that I'm aware of, but.
What are the windows on the front of the building upstairs?
Look just like run over one, from what I can tell from that, so.
Those look like replacement at some point, yeah.
Are you thinking that they should match these side windows with the front windows?
Well, the windows are fairly small anyway. I mean, you can't get a lot, you wouldn't want a lot of panes on there.
So the upper windows are not going to be replaced?
That is not their lease space, they're not involved in that portion of the building.
Any other concerns?
And what is the color of the glass?
Just clear glass.
I mean, you know, can we see the picture of the side of the building again? I think. Oh, now, of course, here they have drawn 2/2.
Do we have an idea of the rough dimensions of these windows, of the openings?
I don't.
About 4 foot by 4 foot, or? Not too that tall. Okay.
If they're done like the ones on the front, and if the front are not being replaced now, and then eventually, if you all or someone else ever wanted to open up the top windows, it would all, you know, go together, even though there's such difference in the window openings and sizes. So I would think one on one would.
1 over 1, you think would beam in a lot better. Any other comments on it? Okay, let's take a look at the paint. You want to paint the brick below the windows on the front of the store, front of the building? White, match the rest of the front of the building? Do you have any concerns with that?
What about the cornice that goes across that frieze?
Would the cornice remain unpainted or the same color on the front of the building?
Front of the building,
Will.
right, the only paint request is for those 2 small areas there. So everything else would remain as is.
We have approved painting brick before. I know we like to keep the original color of the brick when possible. We have approved that. Any concerns with it?
Actually, it would tie in the cornice and over the windows upstairs.
Okay, let's discuss the front door change. We want to eliminate the 2 side lights and go to a double door. And the issue is the double door will allow for equipment and things to be moved in and out a lot easier. And we're looking at 2 shades of color, stain or a dark brown paint.
I think those are in keeping with commercial storefront. Actually, I think that's a great improvement.
Will look very good, yes. Any concern? No? Okay. Any further discussion on it?
Will the side of the building be painted also?
Are you planning on repainting anything else, or just leaving it?
Do we have a motion?
Can I just make one comment? Sure. In looking at these windows on the front, obviously these are not the original windows, and we don't have a picture of the original windows. But these should have then taller.
Right.
Even if it's 1/1, you know, they should have come up to,
All the way to the bottom of the arch.
right. And so if we do go ahead with a motion to have 1/1 on the side, if we can show the side again, the original,
Right, I know, I just want to clarify, their intention here was just for this to be a solid window, it's not 1/1 where it would open. And so it'd just be like a storefront window, I mean, and they're fine to have sort of 1/1 look in that, but these were not meant to be windows that open.
They're not
Correct.
functional.
right.
Just want to clarify that.
So even though the arch is not as pronounced as the one on the front, I think it would be important to have the window fit the space,
The top of the window actually be, match the arch.
not arch,
Well, to the bottom of the.
Not to move that detail.
like they did here, yeah. We're saying 1/1 right now.
Do we have a motion?
But this is just for the windows or for everything?
Let's do it for all of it. If you-
Okay, I'll make a motion.
And it's to approve 1/1 or 2/2?
I think 1/1, there are so many windows, and if they go to do the top ones eventually, 2/2 there and 2/2 on the bottom would be totally different. I think there's gonna be more continuity.
With 1/1?
Do you have a
No.
input on that?
So the motion is to approve 1/1
As it is
as it is, and
in the front?
paint on the front over the brick, white, in the front door. The choice of either shade of brown. Do we have a second? We have a second from Jill. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
That was 20.
Yes.
Moving on now to BAR 1927. Jeffrey.
The applicant is not present for this item, and so to give her time to get here, maybe we can place this at the end of the agenda now and move to the following item.
Certainly. And we'll move on to BAR 1928. Yeah, we need to reserve that one.
We do. The applicant is requesting approval for new paint on the property at 105 South Road in the West Side Historic District. Property is a single-family residence. The house is currently brown with brown trim and a red brick base. The applicant is seeking approval to repaint the house to Academy Gray with ultra-white trim. The base would remain natural red brick. When reviewing this portion of the application, the board should focus on the standards set forth in Chapter 3, Rehabilitation of Historic Resources. The following sections apply to this request. Policy states to preserve primary historic building materials whenever feasible. Using the historic color scheme is encouraged. Base or background colors should be muted, and reserve the use of bright colors to accent building features only. Again, the board must decide the proposed changes meet the above criteria. Happy to answer any questions you have for staff. The applicant is not present for this item tonight.
Question, the brick, Jeff, is that going to remain unpainted?
Yes.
And that goes for the foundation brick as well?
Right.
Okay. Questions, comments, concerns?
What about the shutters?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Any word on the shutters?
The shutters are remaining as they are.
And we don't have a color on that, do we?
Like a gray-brown kind of.
Right, like a gray and brown.
The gable ends will be painted gray? Or,
So I believe this would be gray, the trim would be white, the porch railing would be white, and then the body of the house, the, gray color.
How about the bracket?
Excuse me?
The bracket, hold the roof.
Undetermined. I assume that would be part of the trim, and that would be white.
But currently, it's all painted the same color.
Everything's brown.
And no word on the door.
As far as I know, the door is not discussed the door with me at all, so I'm assuming it's staying as is.
All right, I mean, clearly it would be wonderful if the applicant were here to fill in some of the details, but the basics are we've got wood-sided house looking to repaint to an attractive color and an appropriate trim. Under the circumstances, I think we have enough to go with. Even if the brackets were to be the same color, it's similar to how it's figured now.
Agree.
Is there a motion? We have a motion from Jill, a second, Mary Lou. Anything further? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, very good. And now to BAR 1929.
Make sure there's nobody out there. The applicant is requesting approval to replace the windows in the property at 205 South Main Street in the downtown historic district. Property is an office building. The building currently has a mix of window types, including 9/9 and 1/1 windows. The applicant is seeking to replace the existing windows with vinyl-coated aluminum windows with a 2/2 grid pattern. The applicant is seeking higher energy efficiency for the building. The window choice was made to provide uniformity to the windows in the building and to match similar buildings located near her property. The windows on the front of the building are basically all the same, 9/9 wooden divided windows. The side of the building, you actually have, there's 3 different kinds of windows. You have a 9/9 replacement window. You have a 2/2 window, and then a 1/1 window on the side. So in total, there's 4 different windows on the building at this moment. The window that she's looking to replace it with would be similar to this, and she's given us some examples of other buildings in the downtown where similar windows have been approved in the past. You have Don Chapman's building there, and then the J. Peters building with something similar in that same. We covered this before with the first application. Again, historic windows and doors significantly affect the character of a structure and should be preserved. Preserve the position, number, size, and arrangement of the historic windows and doors in the building wall. And when window or door replacement is necessary, match your replacements to the original design as closely as possible. Once again, the board must decide if proposed improvements meet the above criteria. I'm happy to answer any questions you have for staff, and the applicant is here tonight for this item.
Sure. The center second-story window, the side lights, what's going to happen there?
Wait a minute.
My understanding is that those would remain in place with a new window in the middle. The window here, the side lights would remain in place. Single panes on the side. They'd have single pane, and then the new placement window from the other drawing.
And these are true divided light windows with an exterior grid on them. Is that correct?
So it has the exterior grid, yes.
Questions, comments?
Jeff, can I see the side windows again? I didn't see any 2/2s, that's why I see
You have this window,
there's a 1/1.
1/1, and you have this window, which has the 4 panels in it, and then the replacement 9/9 are the 3 windows on the side of the building.
So the 3 on the side, those have all been replaced.
Yes.
And the ones on the front are original, or they appear to be.
It appears to be a very old building. Her information is that it may be earlier than the 1890s, and so I don't know if those are original, but they have been in place a long time.
But you would replace all the windows that have total uniformity.
Mm-hmm.
Comment?
Yeah. The 9 of a 9 on the front side of the building, I'd love to see that remain. I think it looks very historic. On the sides of the buildings, the 2 over 2 would be fine, I would think, but this looks very historic. And it's what makes that building.
It's appropriate for the architecture too, in terms of the 9 over 9s. It seems to be.
When you ride down Main Street, I mean, the first time I rode down Main Street, you looked at that building, and I thought, that is a great building, and it's because the windows and the, everything, the front door, the pediment over it, the dental work underneath it. It is just so classic, the panels, that 9 over 9 looks appropriate and could be original.
And it makes
The
it
door.
unique compared to the other properties as well.
You have a further history on the building, Karen?
You can come down to the podium.
Yes, thank you.
Sure.
We found the pictures from the Historic Commission at Pendleton that show that this actually seems to be a continuation of the building on West Benson and South Main. And at one time, it was the Bank of Anderson. And in fact, the vault is still on our part of the building, which at some point it must have been divided, we believe, and sold as a separate property. So our intention then, if the intention was to go back to the original look of the building, was to try to see as best you can the design. And I don't see I don't see 9 divided panes. I see at the most possibly 2 over 2 there, which we would be fine with, but
But we've lost all the details.
that matches the
Totally different building.
Yeah, which looks like it's 4 over
The
4.
the facade's been totally redone. I mean, and apparently the window configuration too's changed.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, their
Mr. Cofield?
awning is that was a window replaced by a door at one time.
That was Tommy's old office.
Thinking when he did that, maybe.
It was already done when I came
Yeah,
back
I was getting
from
ready to
law
say,
school.
Very colonial. Like
It's very,
Yeah, the whole facade's changed.
like a colonial house.
Can you get a 9 over 9 in this style or with the efficiency of window?
I don't think this particular company, I don't believe so. I 6 over 6 we could do, but I don't.
Thoughts?
6 over 6 would be better than
That is 6,
2 over 2.
but
I agree.
9 over 9.
I'd like to see the reverse.
remember if we were
Totally different building than it was.
over 6, but not.
You think you can get a 6 over 6?
I can check to see.
Okay, what is your timetable on this?
We were trying, we had water damage in the side of the building on the side there, and so we were trying to coordinate all of the renovations. And we're kind of set in about 8 weeks to start on that.
Okay, but this meeting was delayed, so the next meeting is when, Jeff?
The August 21st, I believe, is the next meeting. So 3 weeks.
Mhm.
If the 2 over 2 is okay on the side of the buildings, maybe they can get started on that. We could approve it today. And if you can get 9 over 9, and we could discuss it at the next meeting.
Would we want a different one on the side of the building as on the front? because they have one 9/9 on the side.
One. Can we see the side of the building again, Jim?
I know it's stucco, it's a different material, but still, we don't usually,
9/9, the 1/1, and the 4 panel.
The two on the bottom, leak problems there?
It's the one at the back,
Okay,
yes.
so those would need to be replaced for sure, okay.
Yes, yeah, yes.
going back to the front, if you did the 2/2, I mean, that does change the side lights upstairs and downstairs, and the transom. I mean, it's changing a lot, whereas you could, if you did even the 6/6,
Yeah, I mean, wait, a second. The 6/6, the 6/6 would still work
fine.
with the door that's in place and the side lights, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, I think it would. Not as good, but it would still work.
Because, I mean, you know, there is some limitation with the energy efficiency windows.
Mhm.
There's some limitation with that. Timetable, if you waited and came back in 3 weeks, Jeff, right?
Be 3 weeks, correct?
With the 6/6, looking into that?
Would it be something that we could allow her to go with either a 9/9 or a 6/6? And then if she's not able to find those, then she would come back in 3 weeks?
Certainly,
Oh, yeah.
I have no problem with that,
That would be great.
okay?
Mhm.
So, approval of a 6/6 or 9/9
Make a motion that we approve 6/6 or 9/9.
with the exterior grids. Motion, what?
For the front of the building, and then what about the side?
And the side. Well, same on the front and the side.
So same windows on the front and side?
And so,
I don't see any real reason in doing different, do you, Karen?
No. Clarification purpose.
Are you okay with that?
Yes, as long as we do the same windows on the side.
Right, so we have a motion from Bill, a second from Moyer. Anything further? Hearing none, all in favor?
fine.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you. Don't let me take any of your papers.
You want?
You keep that.
Jeff, do we want to go back now to 27?
We could do at least partial approval on this one, I think, and
Okay.
demolition part, but maybe not the construction.
All right.
The applicant is seeking approval to demolish an existing storage building actually 2 existing storage buildings on the property at 1905 Club Drive in the North Anderson Historic District. The property is a single-family residence. There are 2 sheds at the back of the property, 1 and 2. They're seeking to remove those to make way for a future carport / shed in the future. The structures would be replaced with the new garage structure. So it'd be generally in this location, these are right on the side property line, so that actually we would have her push the new building to meet our accessory structure requirements of being at least 3 feet off the line. Now the applicant is still trying to decide on a final design for the garage. Several graphics were included in your packet for the different types of the different possibilities. She has sort of a side-loaded garage and carport, different color questions for the roof. This is actually green, not black as it shows up on the screen. Yeah, it's just a close-up of that one. And then she has ones without the carport addition as well. Different designs of the roof structure, which way the roof structure faces in relation to the garage door. So I really think we need her here for this part of it. But I think we can proceed with the demolition aspect of it for the storage buildings.
Sure. And now that storage building you referenced as one, is that metal building anyway? Is that a,
This one's metal. I think they're both. This one's metal and some wood. This one's metal.
yeah, I mean,
They're in very poor repair. So
I think we're all familiar with the details of demolition. I think here the photos speak for themselves. Any concerns? Is there a motion? A motion from Moyer to approve the demolition of both structures, second from Jill. Further? All in favor? All right, and we'll just hold open for the applicant to come back next month without further application to review the new garage specifics. That concludes the public hearing portion. Was there any addenda?
no, sir, nothing else to add.
Good. The minutes have been provided to us. Hopefully you had an opportunity to review them. Any comments, questions? Is there a motion to approve? Mary Lou, second from Bill. All in favor? Okay. Do you have other business tonight?
No, sir.
Officers? You didn't.
Sorry. We do need to elect a chairman, vice chairman, and secretary. John is the current chairman, Bill is the vice chair, and so we would need a motion to either keep the same slate of officers or a motion for an individual position if you'd like to go.
I'll make a motion to keep the same slate of officers.
A motion from Amanda, second from Jill. Any other nominations, please?
Yes, they do such a good job.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
One more year.
Bill, always great to be here when I'm running late. Anything further tonight? Motion to adjourn? Thank you, Jill. Second by Bill. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.